Hey guys. How's everybody doing today? I I had a question from one of my subbies, Tracy, and thank you, Tracy, for asking the question. She wanted to know how I put the page protector sleeves in the book. So I thought I would just real quick. I just grabbed a few pieces of paper and folded them up like a signature just so I could show you how I do this. So what I use are these Project Life page protectors from Becky Higgins Clark, or Becky Higgins. I don't know if I think she might be Becky Higgins Clark now, but anyway, so if I can find these on sale, this is what I'll pick them up. So I bought a box which has got different size page protectors in it. So there's 10 of each one in this particular pack, and these are not they're not really cheap, but sometimes you can find them on sale. You can get them on Amazon. You can get them at Michael's, Hobby Lobby, places like that. They have all different kinds, and you can adapt them. You just have to be creative. You can adapt them any way you want to. So what I did was I pulled this particular one out that's got two 4x6 up here and two 4x6 down at the bottom and four 3x4 across the middle. So what I do is I just simply, I make sure that I've got the page upright, okay, so that make sure that you don't do it this way, upside down. But I just simply fold these in half, okay? Try to get right at that crease in between, and you just have to press. Just have to kind of press it just like you would, you know, when you're folding paper over. And you're gonna lose a little bit of space in each one. Okay, so you just have to cut your 4x6 cards down maybe a hair, like a 1/4 inch. You might lose like a 1/4 inch on the end, but you know, it's not a big deal. So then what you do is, if you can see where this is together, and then there's a space before the pocket opens. So can you see that? I hope you can see what I'm talking about. So you want to cut above, and there's a glare, I'm sorry. So you want to cut above the pocket, but up underneath where this is already stitched together. I hope that makes sense. Let's see, can you see it? I hope you can see what I'm talking about, but anyway, so you're gonna take your scissors and you're gonna very carefully cut above that pocket. And just don't cut the bottom part of the page protector above it, okay? So if you want it to fit into like probably a 6.5, you need to have at least a 6.5, because this is 6 across, and this gives you another like 1/4. Well, you might lose maybe 1/8, not a 1/4. So this is like a 1/4 of an inch, or half. No, this is probably half an inch. Yeah, so you want to make sure it's going to fit in your book, but you actually could cut this off as long as you cut it on the other side of where this is together. But what I do is I fold it over like this, okay? And then I decide if I want it, you know, to go in my book like this, or if I want to fold it the other way, you know, so that this is on the next part of the signature. Doesn't really matter, but you can do it either way. Okay, and then I simply put it in my signature, okay? And you sew it in just like you would anything else. So, you know, say it's in the middle, and then you put other pages on top of it, and then you fold it, and then you're gonna sew it in just like you would a page. Okay, I hope that makes sense. And then what I do is a lot of times I'll use, and then you can use this piece as well, okay? So if you don't cut the bottom of this, you can use this one as well. But if you do happen to cut it, you could always stitch, if you have a sewing machine, you could stitch this back together, you know, and still use it. But I'll use this part as well, okay? And you would do it just like a page, you know, just like you do a page. And when you make sure when you line it up that edge, you know, the middle part where that seam is, that you've just got it lined up well. And you just simply stitch it in like a page. But what I do with this part, I just thought I'd show you real quick, is I'll use this fabric washi. Now this is sturdy tape, okay? If you just glue something on here, I don't know if it's gonna hold. So what I do is I either take a strip of paper about 1 inch wide, fold it over, kind of attach it, and stitch down this part. Just be careful that you don't, you know, stitch and cut your pocket off or anything, you know, from putting things in there. But what I like to do is I like to take this fabric washi, which I make with this attack tape. This is some super sticky stuff. It's a double-sided carpet tape. And I learned how to do this washi. I think Rosemary Morris did some videos, and then I just tried it myself with different types of fabrics. You can use scraps, you can use, you know, all kinds of stuff. So then what I'll do is I'll come here and I'll kind of line it up. Now my tape, I left a frayed edge, and you see how sticky that is? Now, you see if I fold it, I gotta give myself a little bit of room in there. I gotta line it up on the other side, and then it's just gonna create like a tab on that side of the page. And then I just cut these pieces off, cut these ends off. Now, if you want, you know, a lot of times I try not to waste this, so I'll measure it and I'll cut my strip so I know it's not gonna have a lot of excess. But yeah, it's as simple as that. And then you've got, you know, you've got this page protector that you can sew in your book, okay? And you have this, okay? So for this one, I use paper. I just took a strip of paper that was about 1 inch wide, folded it over, and kind of, I glued it down a little bit with just some fabric tack, and then I just stitched it. So it's not going anywhere, and it serves as a tab. You can also, and I haven't done this, but you can also add other little things here. So like you could glue little buttons here on this particular one. I could go back and punch a hole and add charms or add eyelets, or I could punch holes all the way down. I've thought about doing this. I haven't done it yet. You could punch holes all the way down this and like tie little pieces of ribbon or twine or whatever. I mean, you know, you could punch a hole here and then tie a ribbon through it to add some decoration. You can add little flowers. I mean, you can do all kinds of stuff to this little part right here to add extra embellishment to the page. So anyway, so that's how that works. I just thought I would come on here real quick and try to show you, you know, how to do that. Since Tracy asked, and that's pretty simple to explain. So I hope that gives you an idea of how to use these. And there's a lot of different ways that you can do this, and a lot of fun. I really like doing this because it gives you a extra space to add photos and things like that. Anyway, I hope that was helpful, and I will be back soon with some other videos. See you soon. Love you guys. Take care. Stay safe. Bye.